Caught it.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to the pre-game show. We've got Captain Louie, Captain Zach, and myself, Captain Gary. And we are live at a very special place, but we won't give up that secret yet. I guess they took banner, probably gave it up. But so the pre-game show, we're just going to be starting out, just pretty much just being at BSing with y'all. If you have any questions for us, talking about fishing this week, the storm, what color underwear Zach is wearing. Do you wear underwear?
I do.
Because Billy, that one's an easy one to answer for people.
100% wear it.
So anything you guys want to talk about, this is where we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to get to the Friday Night Fish Talk show here shortly. We've got some awesome stuff coming up. I believe we did a little preview of what we're giving away tonight.
Yep, it's pretty sweet.
Dude, that's awesome. So Extreme Decalz, you know, they came up with this idea. They make custom cornhole boards, setups here. They do any image you want, business logos, names, whatever you want. And Brian called yesterday and said, hey, I have a great idea for a giveaway. Let's make some custom boards.
And he called you yesterday.
Yeah.
And they're done today.
It's
Usually
crazy.
I'm the one calling last minute for something.
Yeah.
This one was on Brian, so, you know.
It's really nice.
The other thing is sweet.
Oh, they're awesome.
It's perfect to have somebody local that can do that for you. Like, I mean,
Well,
like
you're
I'm
not
getting stuff done, Zach's getting stuff done, Gary's getting stuff done right down the road. Perfect.
I'm telling you, Extreme Decalz is like the Amazon of Citrus County.
Right, and you're not getting generic stuff that everybody has. You can completely customize it however you want it to, which is really cool. Put some redfish on there, put whatever.
Yeah. So, and we are all the way out here. And is this considered Denellen? Are we in Denellen now? Still Crystal River?
Crystal River.
So just FYI, if the
Pretty
screen's
far out.
choppy at all, you know, we're using a different kind of Wi-Fi tonight. So I don't think our system, however that stuff works, that's a Sean and Darnell thing.
That's right. Not us. We're the talent.
Yeah.
The
So
talent.
as long as you see Louie's pretty face. But. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? So if not, I say let's get to the show. Rick, Nick, Dale. Everyone's saying hey.
Hey, Dale.
I don't have any of
Rick,
these.
Nick,
We
and
know.
Dale. Oh, the power is out in Homosassa. So
Well, that storm, so this afternoon when everyone was on the radio, they were like, all right, it's going to hit us in 14 minutes. Somebody had some perfect app out there. I took off 40 mile an hour across the flat. Everyone else took off, and I think everyone else took the long way, but that storm that came through Homosassa was black and cracking everywhere. It was 50 mile an hour winds. Had to stop, put my bimini top down so it didn't, so I didn't lift off. But it was bad, so I can see why they have power out right now.
yeah. So.
Yeah, I was driving back and I saw it and it was horrible.
Terrible.
But listen, guys, this is your last chance. Earlier we made a post that in order to be eligible to win these boards, you've got to like the Extreme Decalz Facebook page, like and follow, and you need to tag 3 friends in the post. So we're going to give you one last chance to go ahead and like their page, Extreme Decalz, and that's decals with a Z at the end, and tag 3 friends in this live feed. So it's your last chance to do that. If you have not done that and you happen to win our, and we're going to do a different style. We're not doing Wheel of Fortune tonight. I'm super excited with what we're going to do. But if you happen to accomplish that and win, but you did not do those very small things that we asked you to do, then
You're out.
SOL, right?
Yep.
All right, that being said, I think we should go ahead and get ready for the show. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Alrighty, guys, welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk. So we've got Captain Zac Zachry. Zac
Zachry. There you go.
Now, what's your first name? Your real first name?
Zachariah.
Zachry.
Yep.
And your middle name is?
Harris.
Oh, well,
I wish it was a Z.
Yeah, no, that was sweet. So Zach is filling in for Captain Billy this evening. Captain Billy's over there running their boat towards like a madman.
Yep.
So thank you very much. But so first of all, we're at what I consider to be one of the coolest places on
Earth. This place is sweet. When I walked in, I mean, it's big.
I mean,
you know,
the equipment keeps on going. He has a laser room. He's got I don't know the other equipment. So Brian will fill us in on that later on. But he does everything here, and you can see just by his shop how creative he is. What I love about coming here is every time we come here, there's something new in the works. They're working on something else, the cornhole boards and the signs, these sweet maps. So
when I was walking around, there's all kind, like that thing right there is sweet. Like I'd love to have that in the house. It matched just great, and then he did my spear gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of work on it is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to. I want to talk about really get into depth with what he does here in a little bit with the mastermind behind this and his team. But let's talk about this week. So, I haven't fished in a while actually. We went grouper fishing the other day and did really, really well for summer months, which what Louie is telling me is pretty rare.
It's crazy.
So what's going on with redfish? What have you heard from the other captains? Tell us. Let's do a little recap.
So basically, it is either going to be an absolutely stellar day where you're catching 20, 30, 40 redfish, or it could be the polar opposite where you're only going out and maybe catching 1-2 fish, something like that. And I guess it just all has to do with, number one, your tide, water temperature, all that is playing into the factor. One good person to talk to that would be Louie when we get over to him for the tackle table talk, and he'd probably be able to fill you in a little bit better on the redfish on those outside keys and stuff like that. Reports I'm getting from Crystal River, it's steady fishing. Everybody's doing pretty good there, all the way up to back in behind Trout Key, Gray Mare Pass, all into Fish Creek. I know a couple guys have actually been doing really good on the redfish way back in Fish Creek, which really surprises me because that water is so hot back there. I figured all those fish would come out to the keys, but there in fact is still a lot of fish back there. Fish Creek and back in West Arm and all that stuff.
I'm really trying to get into like the scientific side of fishing. I've always just been, you go to spots you feel comfortable fishing, and
there's definitely a science behind it. But I mean, sometimes when that water is just scorching, it blows my mind that they're catching the amount of redfish back in there that they are.
Well, here's my thought process. I mean, when would you say that it's really transitioned back in that area?
When it starts to, in my opinion, when it starts to really get good back there is going to be fall, winter, and spring.
All right.
So when that water cools down.
Here's my thought process. Last week we had that 16 inches of rain, right? The water temperatures in the Gulf went from 89 to 81. So my thought process is those fish, they couldn't handle that 8-degree difference, which to us it might not be anything, but you're talking about a whole different blood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they storm back into those mud areas.
Didn't even think about that.
So
yep.
I mean, that's one thing I feel like I need to work on, a lot of scientific stuff. For next season, I think in October we talked about doing this. We're actually going to do a whole episode based off the science of fishing, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, yeah.
So I think from here on out, this is stuff that I'm going to start thinking about before I go out fishing. What has changed? What is consistent?
For sure.
But I mean, right now I hear everything. Trout. In the keys.
Oh, the trout have definitely showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, not in big numbers, but I mean, just the other day when we were running out, I mean, we were driving to those patches of golden bottom when we saw trout zipping all over the place. So, that's definitely something that we're going to be able to get into soon is back into trout fishing.
Speaking that, talking about going out there, you and I, we went out with Brianna, and this is actually what tonight's episode is based off of, is bait, right? We're going to talk about bait and then customization of boats.
Yep.
That's what you and I went out and did. We did some testing on different style pinfish traps, different baits that we can use, some cast netting. That's what tonight is about, guys. So we're going to be talking about shrimp, pinfish, cut mullet, artificial bait,
How to catch all of it.
how to catch it, how to hook it,
Yep.
how to decide what you're going to be using that day.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight's episode is about bait. It's all about the bait. Because without the bait, guess what?
No fish.
No fish. So, unless you have a cast net, I guess.
That's true.
Now, I'm going to have a little trivia question for you. Can you legally cast net a redfish?
100%.
Can.
Yep, used to do it all the time.
So, all right. Well, we know just from the marina, Louie has been out several times this week fishing. Carter, Cat Matt Kleckner,
Casey.
Carrie Gibson,
Yep.
Jacob,
Ken.
Ken,
Yep.
and they've all been just coming
Slamming
back with phenomenal fish.
It's awesome.
I love this.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, and getting back into the science side, we talked about it a little bit last week, but does the red tide down south have anything to do with it?
I don't know. That's something to ask a biologist or something like that, but I couldn't imagine those fish, being able to really outrun it, I mean, maybe those fish on the outskirts, would be able to get pushed away from it, but who knows? That's a great question.
Speaking of the biology side, for the scientific episode that we're going to do, we should call Ernie Olson.
Oh, yeah. He would love it.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
That'd be really cool.
He was telling me a story how the other day you showed up to his classroom. How old were you?
Well, I mean, I was in high school. I think it was 10th grade.
That you showed up to the classroom with a 5-gallon bucket that was half full of water moccasins.
Yeah, it was one water moccasin that filled the bucket up halfway. It was huge.
That's Captain Zac Zachry for y'all. But, all right, cool. Well, I tell you what, good review of the week, but we're going to get into depth. We're going to pick apart the week. We're going to find out what everyone was using, or you already know what everyone was using, so we're going to talk about that. So that being said, Sean, unless you disagree, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back.
Sweet.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night. Sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour toward the light. Anymore when the sun does come. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
Video, all that stuff.
Alrighty, guys, we are back with Friday Night Fish Talk. We've got the one and only Captain Louie from Florida Fishing Adventures.
Right.
Argiro.
And we're talking about bait.
Here.
We are talking about, we reenacted the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
Louie, why don't you tell us what's inside of this tank?
We've got all kinds of live bait. We've got pinfish, we've got pigfish, we've got shrimp. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Mud minnows maybe
There's
in there.
scallops in there.
Scallops.
Snook.
Snook, yeah.
There's a bit. Oh, look at
Yeah.
this shrimp right here. Can we see it? Oh no. He's like on top of the snook's head. This is the only time that would ever happen.
Oh my, yeah. That's too cool. Did you see the size of that pigfish in
I
there?
see it. That
So,
is a grouper bait. For
Let's
sure.
start there. I always hear you talk about pigfish and
yeah.
grouper fishing. What makes a pigfish so special, and what's different between a pigfish and a pinfish?
Honestly, they're so much better.
Is it how much noise
they make a noise. Yeah. They swim down. They freak out when they get to the bottom. I can tell you right now, I will watch my people as we're dropping baits down, and I will see there's always one person who's better than everybody else. And I'll see that, oh, he's the one who can really hook them and catch that big one. And I'll walk right up to him with this bait behind literally he's right here. behind my back, and I'll put it on his hook and let him drop it down.
See if you can catch
And
him.
when I tell you that it is instant.
It's pretty cool.
Well, I know.
Oh, you almost got him.
I know one of the differences. Man, he is huge too.
He is huge.
Let's just
I
flay
think the
him.
net's a little too small for him.
I know one of the differences is they don't have the pins like a
Yeah, they
pinfish.
don't have the pins, so they're a little smoother.
And if we can catch one, I want to really demonstrate the biggest difference of it.
Well, you had to put this massive.
Get the cast net. There it
Get
is.
the cast net.
See if you can make him sing.
Right into the mic.
Come on.
Come on. So, all
Doesn't
right.
like to cooperate.
No, let me try to finesse him a little bit. All right, can we get a close up on this real quick? So I mean, he still has pins, but they're not as sharp, right? You know, they're not going to really hurt you. But I mean, the colors, the yellow, real similar to a pinfish. And this one, all right, buddy, we're gonna go back in the tank. He's gonna be a pet. But I wish he would do it. They usually croak, right? So I mean, they're calling fish when they. Sorry. They usually are calling those grouper and redfish over to them.
Oh yeah.
It's always really exciting when you have one of those in your bait well, for sure. But sorry.
That's funny.
No, they're a fantastic bait. They're kind of hard to. I think a lot of bait shops will not carry them. There's no law to it or anything, but when they advertise pinfish, you know, obviously you get that one Karen in the world who's going to say, oh, well, you have a pigfish in here, that's wrong. There's no law against it, but it's probably right to trap your own pigfish.
Gotcha.
And I can tell you this, if you want 100% pigfish in your traps, not 100%, but if you want more pigfish in your traps, put shrimp in your trap rather than putting
That's pretty
like
cool.
threadfin.
I did not know that.
Oh,
That's
it's
awesome.
crazy. It's 10 times.
Huh.
You know
Yeah.
what's funny?
Do you put them in like a mesh bag and then put them in there?
You just throw a
pretty
whole,
cool.
that whole bag that's been sitting in the
Yeah.
bottom of your cooler for
Yeah.
like a week,
Yeah.
just throw that in there.
Nice.
You know what's funny, Zach? We're gonna play the video here shortly, but the sampling and the demonstrations that we were doing the other day on the boat, one of those traps were loaded with pigfish,
That's pretty cool.
and there was a secret ingredient in that trap that I feel like could have brought the pigfish over to him.
That would be, if that is the case, I'll be buying a lot.
Yeah.
Was it just in one of the traps?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. But
Which would make sense.
so we'll tell you guys that secret here shortly. What was in that trap? Actually, you're gonna see it firsthand.
I can tell you this, never have I seen pinfish hide under a snook before.
Yeah. Well, the snook's kind of chill, so.
That's for sure.
Let me ask you guys a question. How do you determine your day whether or not you're going to be doing live bait or artificial?
Oh man, I can tell you right when my customers step on the boat. Whether they can cast
minutes,
or whether
for
they
sure.
can't. Kids, adults, that personally that's how I tell. But I mean, 99% of the time you're going to be catching, at least for your redfish, you're going to be catching more redfish on live bait or cut bait than you are going to be on artificials, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's probably people out there that, you know, it's other way, but if you're wanting to target that specific species, 100% it's going to be, you know, some kind of a reel bait. And then for your trout, me personally, I catch significantly more trout on artificials than on live bait or cut bait, and it's my opinion because you can cover so much more ground, you know. So
Certain times of the year too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
Sometimes of the year those trout are around the bars. Zach's the king of catching those fish on the bars with artificials. A lot of us, we don't use artificials. We float a pinfish through them, or buy them, or down them, or wherever those fish might be. And I think it also has to come down to how much patience you have.
Yeah.
Zach will fish 6 people red fishing. He has a lot of patience. Me, I have no patience. I mean, we move from spot to spot to spot, throwing live baits out there. If they're not getting the live bait, they're not getting anything.
that's true.
All right, someone has a question. How do you keep bait alive?
See, that's something we didn't prepare for, shrimp-wise.
Shrimp what? Well,
besides the bubbler thing. But we got to talk about the whole why we keep our shrimp in a bag thing. I know you don't because you are.
no, I do.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But like me and Zach, we keep our shrimp in a bag, in a cooler. You know, you can lay a towel down or whatnot on top of that ice, but as long as that ice it's cool or whatnot, and the bag's not drenched, literally wet. If you take that bag and you take all your shrimp and you get like one of these nets or something like that, and you get all of that water out of that bag, and then put your shrimp back in the bag, they're gonna stay alive so much longer because that old water is not on them all day long.
And the main thing is that'll kill them really quick though is if you throw them into your cooler and you don't realize you have a lot of like ice slush in there, and that fresh water gets in that bag, it's going to kill those shrimp quick. So like Louie said, you know, make sure you either put them right directly on top of that ice, or take a bait rag, put the bait rag down on top of the ice, and then set your shrimp right on top of it in the bag with no water in the bag.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to keep them alive for literally all day or probably 2 days.
You know, the old timers trick, and like in fall and winter, we go and buy stacks and stacks and stacks of the mullet wrapper newspaper because people want to use that newspaper, soak it in salt water, and then put the newspaper on top of the ice, and then put the shrimp on top of it. Some people will say that it keeps the shrimp alive. That's not true. You know, it keeps them fresh, but I don't care what anyone says. You know, this shrimp, once a hook this size goes inside of it, he's not flapping around. He's going to do a little twitching. So whether or not the shrimp is alive does not matter.
No.
Does not matter. You're wasting. I mean, I might stop selling, you know, bubble boxes and bait buckets the way we do, but there's really no difference as long as the shrimp is fresh and not pink.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Shrimp wise, live, half dead, dead, it's pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
I don't like using them once they turn white.
Yeah, white's different.
You know,
I don't like them because the hook won't stay in them as well.
Yeah.
Just
A
slide
fresh
them out.
shrimp, you can put it's crazy. You can put a jig head through a fresh shrimp, and it'll hold that hook so much better than even one that feels tougher.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. A live shrimp will stay on a hook the best, right? But you're not going to notice that big of a difference from fresh dead or dying compared to live. Now, back to that question. If you decide, and you know everyone has a different opinion about it, right? If you decide you do want to keep your shrimp alive, you know this is a great investment.
100%.
Those little ones, the baby bubblers, they're good for a couple uses, but they're really weak. You know, they're I think like $5 or $6 cheaper. Yeah. Invest in one of these bubble boxes. Now here's a little trick that if we can get a close up whenever you get a chance, Darnell. Here's a little trick with these that not a lot of people know. So this bubble box, get it out of there. All right, so this bubble box comes packaged right from any marina, just like this, right? And then there's a thing that goes in the back of it. Now a lot of people will open it up, and then the hose is always inside the battery tray, and then they take this part and they throw it in the trash, and then they set it up. But all of these bubble box plastic containers are designed for a water-resistant feature. So it has a little slot in the back side of it. That's for your hook to go through. And then if you look on top, it has a little hole on top of it. That's for your hose to go through. And then plug that in there, straighten up your hose, make sure it doesn't get kinked. And then all of a sudden your bubble box just became
It actually
water
lasted
resistant.
another year.
Yep.
And I'm glad you went over that because a lot of people don't know about that.
No,
Yeah.
no, not a lot.
I only learned about that about a year ago.
Yep.
After about $600 in bubble boxes.
Oh yeah, I mean you leave it out in the rain one time. These guys are frisky.
I know. For all this water in here and this little bubble box, these dudes are going nuts.
Does anyone have a fishing trip tomorrow, or is everyone scalloping?
We're all scalloping.
Because I'm going to save these guys for my next trip.
You and I are going to shoot fish tomorrow.
That's right. That is right. But yeah, so I mean, I think that's, you know, there's all different types of baits. These are just some live baits that we have to offer, or that offer, you know, in our area. You've got greenbacks that are a little harder to come by. if you can get to them, you know, there's certain types of fishing that they're better to use greenbacks or white baits. You've got finger mullet that are also hard to come by, but
there's been finger mullet everywhere too.
out in the middle of the Keys,
like
absolutely.
Billy said last week, I saw
Don't forget
him
the
today.
mud minnow. That's one of my favorites.
And then
Oh, yeah.
the mud minnow. Yep. Now,
Needlefish.
needlefish. What do you use needlefish for?
Snook.
Your snook? Is that it though? Anything else?
No, that's the only thing that really eats a needlefish.
What's pretty cool about
They're
needlefish
stinky and gross, and
Yeah.
is you can just get like a small treble hook, cast it, snatch hook one of them, and then don't even take him off the hook. Just launch him
throw them right there.
So
right back out.
cobia, they're awesome for cobia.
Huh.
You know, eel, that's
Yeah.
always been known as the best thing you
Oh,
can
for sure.
use. But needlefish, the big girthy ones, are awesome for cobia because of the stench that they have.
Oh, I'm
You know,
sure. I mean, that eel kind of gives off that
Yep.
same stench.
Now, Captain Marvin Williams, he's an old time guy. He's passed away. It's probably been 10 years. But he used to go out and target the big giant needlefish, the big girthy ones, and then he used those as cut bait for redfish.
I've always, you know, we always talk about cut bait for redfish being like mullet or pinfish or something like that. And you know, they talk about lizardfish all the time.
Yep.
Lizardfish is the bomb.
Yeah, I've never used it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, here's a good trick for everyone too. If you're going out fishing, you go catch your fish, right? You're going into the boat ramp, you fillet your fish. Most people call that a day except rinsing down the boat. But go ahead and take it to that science side that Zach and I were talking about earlier and cut open the belly of a redfish, cut open the belly of a trout, see what they're eating.
Oh yeah, we do it every day.
You know, that's what they're feeding on. That's what that redfish is going out and looking for. They could be going out and looking for whatever bait this is supposed to resemble, and you know, they're actually looking for the shrimp, but this bait's right in front of them. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take it, but they're looking for this. So get into the science side, cut that belly open, and see what they're naturally feeding on. Most of the time, you're going to find little lizardfish and little blue crabs.
And the toadfish, I find
And the
in there.
toadfish, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what.
And plus, you find some cool stuff in them. I've cut open a lot of redfish bellies, and I caught one in Christa River, great big one, had a big belly on it, and it had almost a 12-inch snook inside it. It's like 25-inch red, almost 12-inch snook. It was crazy. And then in Fish Creek this past winter, I landed one big belly, cut it open at the dock there, and it had 2 Little Johns and a Berkeley Gulp
Really?
inside it. Yeah.
Yeah, they sat on the table for like 3 weeks.
So let's see, 6 years ago, I was at a fishing tournament in Old Homosassa, and I was cleaning a shark, right, a little bonnethead, or a 4-foot bonnethead, and I wanted to see what that bonnethead was eating, and I cut it open, and all of a sudden, what falls out of it is a engagement ring, a diamond engagement ring. I pick it up and I turn around, and all of a sudden Brianna's standing right there, looks at the engagement ring. I see the smile, so I dropped down on a knee and gave it to her.
Okay.
That was a good one. Good try. She's still mad over it.
So, all right, well, I tell you what, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we are going to dig further into the video, that we're going to dig into the traps, we're going to dig into how to get this bait.
Yep.
All right, guys, we are back. Friday Night Fish Talk, Captain Zach, Captain Louie, and myself. So before we start talking about the traps and the cast nets and how to get this bait, let's go ahead and show that video of you and I going out and talking about it and really demonstrating it firsthand.
Yep.
All right, Zach, so we've got a couple different styles of traps, buoy setups, baits, and everything. The one thing that you and I were talking about earlier is why why does it seem like the galvanized, unpainted, uncoated catches more? So what's your thought process on that compared to a black coated?
I don't know why the galvanized traps catch better than the black traps. I have had the black traps catch good when there's a lot of pinfish out, but it seems like every single time I throw this one out, if there's pinfish in the area, they are 100% going to go to this over the black trap. I like this style right here. It's got 4 openings for them to come into. Also with your traps, sometimes when you get them, these openings are really, really big. I like them when you can pinch them down, and so they can squeeze through there, but it's hard for them to get back out of the trap. But yeah, to answer your question, I really honestly don't know why.
All right, so to me, the galvanized is more camouflage in the water. This is real bulky, and I feel like when you're in the water, this is going to stick out more to you than this. So that's what the fish are seeing as well. So they're not necessarily seeing they're going into a trap. They're seeing the bait that's in the middle of this, where this, it looks like they're going into something.
Sure.
I like this style trap too. Now, Florida Pinfish Traps puts out a product that's like this, where it has 4 entrances, but it's on the corners and it's a lot bigger.
Yes.
That's my preferred trap. But we all know the worst part about putting traps out is they get stolen.
100%.
So that's why we're also going to talk about the different style buoys. This one, we have an incognito buoy, really meant to get put up against the mangroves or, somewhere that where it's at, because it's harder to see. We're putting it out in the open water, but we're going to put GPS marks on it. So that's one style. And then you got your obvious style. Easy to find, but easier for other people to find too. That's why we put it on our least favorite trap. And then show them that one, Zach.
And then this is, you've got about 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet of rope going up to a buoy here. And this trap, the weight is actually going to sink this down underwater. And so this is a trap that you're 100% going to want to mark with your GPS, get over in there, and then you're going to see this floating just below the surface. And so it's when people are running by, if you've got an area that people constantly keep stealing your traps, this is going to be the method you're going to want to use, because this is actually going to be underwater, and so you can't see it from the surface. And that's what a lot of us use out here, just because we have so many people that steal our stuff.
Yeah.
This is my preferred method here.
In reality, it's probably less expensive to buy pinfish, but for us, we want a guarantee of having our pinfish when we need it.
Yeah.
So that's why we put traps out. But I don't know about you, whenever I get a chance, if the bait shop has pinfish or Miss Bonnie has pinfish, I get them from her, because you're guaranteed to have them. And then you're not surprised when you get out here and your trap is empty, or you've had it before where someone's left money in your traps, right?
Yeah. It's kind of nice, but it also sucks because
the pinfish is more important.
Exactly.
So, all right, so those are the traps. Now let's talk bait. Your traditional bait is threadfin herring.
And how I use these is I will take, I'd say maybe 6 to 8 to 10 of them, throw them just in the trap. I'm actually not putting them in that little bait box inside there. Okay. I just throw them in there, and 4 or 5 of them, I'll just break them in half when they're frozen, and then you can just throw them in there, and they'll come in. And I found they actually come in the trap better when you just throw them in there versus putting them in that little box in the bottom.
Yep.
We're going to be trying out these chum pucks by Fish Bites, and I honestly don't know if we should just put them in that trap that's in there, or just throw them in the trap itself.
Yeah, I mean, we tested them out in the canal, and they don't break down like we thought they were going to
Exactly.
do. So they put off like an oil. They have that glitter, that biodegradable glitter that's in there. All this is biodegradable. So I'm excited to try this. I feel like this is going to be the ticket. But a lot of people ask, why is threadfin or sardines better than using mullet? Mullet works, but it doesn't break down like this stuff. This stuff, eventually, after a day or two, it's gone completely.
And these fish have a lot of oil in them.
Yes.
And so you can get one that's completely thawed out, break it, and put it in the water, and you actually see the oil coming out of the surface.
Okay, buddy. Well, be careful where you step then.
One more thing about the Fish Bites chum puck is, if this works, this is going to be a lot nicer to keep on your boat. than the herring. This herring, you've got to keep it cool. And for us, you know, you're putting this in a cooler, and you've got to take it out within about a day or two, or this is going to really start stinking. These chum pucks, I mean, you could honestly just leave this down in one of your hatches, you know, get 2 or 3 bags of these things and pull them out as needed, and you can leave them in there and they're not going to rot or anything like that. It's pretty cool.
You definitely want to leave it in a drier, shaded spot in your boat. I'm really excited. I say we do 1 trap with just herring, 1 trap with just these fish bite chum blocks, and then 1 trap half and half.
Yep, that sounds great.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how many do you prefer putting in a trap?
I'd put at least 8 in there.
All right. That's 5.
And then you're just going to break. They're really easy to break, guys. Just snap them right in half.
7.
7 will do it.
7? All right.
Yeah.
On it there. All right, so now let's do, I'll tell you what, to make it fair, we'll do this one half and half, and then we'll put the other just chum blocks in the black one.
Perfect.
All right, so let's do,
Daddy, is that yours?
yeah, but it's ours. So we'll do 1 little chum piece.
Can you put it in there?
You want to put it in?
Can you stick it?
Have you smelt this stuff yet?
Yeah, so it's just like cat food. And I've heard people using cat food in traps before too,
Yeah,
so
poke some holes in the can and
see how it goes.
smell it, buddy. What does it smell like?
Smell like cat food.
Yeah, it smells like cat food. All right, and then we're gonna put a couple pieces of these in there.
Leave it in there. Don't break it. Just leave it in.
Make a sandwich.
Sardine sandwich. Jeez.
I'll put it in there.
All right, let's put it in there.
Break it in half, Brody, and put it in there. Use those muscles. There we go. Here you go, Brody. Let me help you. There we go.
All right, so that's 4 herring, 1 chum block, chum puck, whatever you want to call it.
Ready to put it in there? Ready to put it in there?
Yeah, I want you to throw this one over here, buddy.
There we go.
Good job. Look at all the glitter come up. That's cool. All right.
And then this one, we're just putting the puck in, correct?
Yep, let's just put the puck in this one.
I can put it in there.
Okay.
The whole thing?
Yep, whole thing. Don't break it. Just let it just sit just like that.
Dad, let me break it.
No, throw it in there.
There we go.
Dad, where's the fish studio getting?
Well, this one we're not going to put any fish in. We're going to test it out with just the chum puck. Can you throw this one off the front of the boat? Oh.
Let me put it in there.
All right, there you go.
Let me put it in there.
Good. Good job. Do it. Do it. Perfect.
So we're on a really low tide out here right now, guys, so that's why you see that buoy floating. But when that tide comes up, the buoy's just going to submerge underwater.
Yeah. Yeah, really you just want it at a level that you can pick it up with a gaff.
Yep.
You know, we're not leaning way over, going to fall in the water. So
Exactly.
that's set up just how we want it there. All right, so we just pulled up to the 3 traps that we baited yesterday. So that one, I'll have to go back and look at the archives, which that one was. Do you see anything in it? Any bait or anything?
No remains.
No remains? What would you say, a dozen?
Yeah, about a dozen, 15 maybe.
All right. I think that was the sardines, but I cannot remember. I know the silver one was half and half.
Right, that one is nice.
Yeah, that one did pretty good for overnight. Wow. Alright, so that kind of proves our theory about galvanized compared to blacks. it's a lot smaller too. All right, guys. Well,
I wasn't there to pull the traps, so that's the first time I've seen it. That's a lot of bait.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
for 12
For 3
hours.
traps, that's a lot of bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're tiny. I mean, this, so it proved our what we talked about is galvanized over black, or any sort of color, or you know,
Yeah.
that's the most camouflage, incognito. So, guys, if you go to buy a bait trap, obviously based off of that video and our testing, go with galvanized.
100%.
But here's my theory on why that one collected so many, which I've used this one for a long time and I've never gotten that amount out of that. It's smaller, you don't catch a lot. That one was loaded and it had all those pigfish in it too. That was the one that we only did, what was it, 4 herring?
Yeah.
4 herring plus a fish bites puck.
Yep.
So my theory is the puck attracts the fish and the herring traps the
And
fish.
I think we should revisit this in the near future with all the same traps.
Yes.
100%. And then one just with the herring, one just with the fish puck.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll have to do it especially when I'm grouper fishing.
Yeah.
There's bait everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a lot, especially up there where we put our traps. If we put 3 in a line,
I still can't believe
Same
though that
bottom.
one puck and only 4 herring. I mean,
a
this
lot
thing
of
was half
bait.
full. It was pretty cool.
That was cool. So, well, there's that. So I tell you what, let's do a quick catch of the week, and then this is the Extreme Decalz at the Extreme Decalz headquarters.
This place is awesome.
It is awesome. I'm so excited. Then after the catch of the week, then we're gonna go talk with the mastermind himself, Brian, and find out what he does, and then we're gonna be giving away those sweet boards. So let's do catch of the week. Ito. Nice redfish.
That's a
G
nice
caught
one.
that?
Oh yeah.
Well, his client did.
See where he is.
Damn.
Getting
Very
carried
good.
in.
That's a pretty cool picture.
Yep. A rainbow attracts the rainbow. Oh yeah, that's just some of the stuff that Brian does.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, there he goes. The
Oh,
tropical
tropical
tarpon
tarpon.
There you
sign.
go.
Some of those fold-up boards.
Oh yeah.
Those are cool. You put sand in them and
I
wave
wonder
them
whose
down.
business that is.
Captain Gene Miller. Beautiful redfish.
That's a pretty one. It's a fat one.
Yeah.
Captain Ken Craig.
What a pretty one.
Yeah.
That was.
That's me.
Is that you?
Captain Argiro.
That's a good one.
Where can you guys see who
that you too?
who it is?
Yeah.
Nice. Captain Teddy.
That kid is happy.
Yeah, he is. 2 knuckleheads right there, Captain Jacob and Captain Teddy.
Look like twins.
That's a good combo right there. I like seeing them fishing together.
That's cool.
The Shuck Hut.
That's more Brian's work right there.
It's pretty cool. You know how many people want to get a picture in front of that thing?
Oh, I know. If it was a little bit lower, I think they would literally hold it all day
Oh,
long.
100%.
I think we need 2.
All right, guys, so that was Catch of the Week, the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week. So that is Brian's segment because we feel like all those photos and everything people can use to make their own stuff. So let me introduce you to the mastermind behind, what did you call us earlier, Extreme Decalz
Headquarters.
World Headquarters. So this is Mr. Brian Saunders, everybody. Firefighter and Dreammaker, right?
We'll go with Dreammaker.
Dreammaker.
Sounds
So
good.
Brian, first of all, what inspired you to get into the signs, the custom stuff, the boat lettering? What gave you that oomph to get into it?
We were playing with dirt bikes, and we figured it was a good way to make some extra money, so we bought a cutter. One thing led to another, and I mean, here we are. It's snowballed from day one.
Nice. Well, I mean, you've done incredible. I mean, honestly, Brian, and I'm not just saying this because you're right in front of me, I feel like what you do has enhanced our business, and I'm really passionate about that. I can't brag about you and your
appreciate
team
that.
enough. I mean, you know, it's simple things like letters, right? These are FL letters. I did a price comparison. You know, if you go to West Marina Walmart, you get like a whole book of generic, just regular letters, right? And I think you can choose from black or white, same font. That whole book is actually very expensive, but you only use, what do we got? 8 letters, 8 letters / numbers. It's the same price, and it's a lot easier to apply to get something custom made. And like, you know, for us, for our letters that we did on my T-Craft, it matches our logo, it matches the theme, it matches everything. And people always come up to me and say, man, you know, I'm thinking they're getting ready to say, look at this boat, you know, look at that jack plate. Man, look at those FL numbers. How cool are those? But that's what you do, that's what your team does, is make things look cool. So what's the best way for somebody to get their vision over to you so you can design it?
Best way is probably just give us a call, 352-400-0364, or email us at brian@extremedecalz.com.
Okay.
And you know, get it started, and we'll send you some proofs. You give us the okay, and then we'll start printing.
And I can tell you all this firsthand. Once Brian gets to know you, I feel like you get inside my head. You know, like the other day, Brian, I got a crazy idea, and then you stop me right there and like, all right, I'll have a proof to you here soon. I didn't even tell you what it was, but you knew it. So, I mean, that's just, you know, the personal touch. The pricing's amazing. It really is. The quality, just everything, but overall the experience. Like, I love working with you guys. You're awesome, fun, energetic. You come up with stuff like this. I mean, you know, what people don't understand is you can create items that I could give to my mom for her birthday, which shopping for your mom and dad is super hard because you feel like they have everything that they need. But this is something that they might not have thought of. So you can create memories that are turned into gifts, or gifts that turn into memories, real simple, as long as you have the vision to do it, right? As long as you collect the vision from that person. So if you're going to contact Extreme Decalz, give them as much detail as possible as what you want and what you're kind of visioning, and then let them create it. So
Absolutely.
You know, you do different stuff. This is really cool. It's an emblem for the boat out there right now, actually. So you're going to make kind of like a 3D emblem, which I think is awesome, instead of just doing a decal. And then why don't you tell us a little bit about this bad boy?
This is just a gauge panel for my boat. Once we get the dimensions right, we can create just about anything we did for your boat, as a matter of fact. You know, that's the cool thing, is we don't do just decals. We've got a CNC machine, we've got a laser machine. The projects, we probably need to change the name of this place to the project shop, because it's so much more than decals at this point.
I agree. I mean, you know, we play the commercial all the time, and it's just like the commercial is. I mean, that was real life. Obviously, we, you know, kind of put it all together to where it made it seem like it was really quick, and it was actually pretty quick. It was like a day turnaround. But Billy made a cutout. He literally walked in and he said, Gary, this is what we should do for the boat. How awesome would this be? And then I brought it here, and then I literally cracked a beer open with you, and you made it.
Right.
That was insane. So, guys, get with Brian at Extreme Decalz. Do you have a website?
www.extremedecalz.com, and decals is with a Z.
Decalz with a Z. So I've learned that one recently. Ryan, thanks again for having us here, man. We're super excited,
Thank you, guys.
And we look forward to keep on working with you.
Awesome.
I think you got Louie's boat wrap coming up soon, don't you?
Coming soon.
Whew, I'm so excited about that one. But, all right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we are going to be giving away a set of cornhole boards.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, Brian?
I got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it. All right.
What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
Alrighty, everybody, we are live here at Extreme Decalz with the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Saunders. And we are getting ready to give away some sweet, sweet boards. Check those out real quick. So, first of all, guys, we apologize about the live feed for the actual show. We are going to be broadcasting this here soon, so it turned in from a live show to a pre-recorded show, but this segment right here is actually live. Brianna is just using her phone instead of all this fancy equipment, but we still want to give away these boards while we're here at Extreme Decalz. Brian, how long did it take you to make these boards?
Day.
1 day. So before we tell you how you're going to win these boards, and only one person can win, please, please, please make sure that you have liked the Extreme Decalz Facebook page and follow them. And then also tag 3 friends in this live broadcast. Either tag 3 friends or share. I think either one's pretty similar. So because if you did not do that, then you're not going to have a chance to win these. Well, you could have a chance to win them, but then that chance could get taken away. And we are monitoring this. So, but this part's going to be really fun. So I think how many viewers do we have right now? Is it showing you, Bree? Couple few, sort of. So we're going to let it build up a little bit. Talk about Bornholm. I mean, you got that awesome banner back there with your phone number on it and everything. I tell you what. So how do you think we should give these boards away? Or should we just keep them for ourselves? Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Let's go play some cornhole. You know,
Probably ask a good question.
a good question. Maybe it should be about cornhole too.
Maybe so.
All right, I tell you what. So let's go ahead and give the secret question. All right. Now, just remember that secret question because that's ultimately not how you're going to win. There's a part 2 to this. So the secret question is from the base, the front of each board, what is the distance that this board, the front of this board, should be from the front of this board in cornhole regulation? And we'll do it in feet. We'll keep it American. So what is the distance from the front of the board to the front of the board? All right. Now, remember that answer if you have it. Now, here is part 2 to this. All right. The first person to call Extreme Decalz, Brian's holding his phone right here. The first person to call Brian with the correct answer is going to win a set of cornhole boards. And did you guys see the logo that Extreme Decalz made for Friday Night Fish Talk, by the way? Check that out. How long did that take?
It took me a couple hours.
Yeah, I could tell because that one's awesome, man. Like, that is sweet. So we're going to wait for Brian's phone to ring. And just in case you didn't have his phone number, I think it's right there, right?
It's right behind us.
It's right behind us.
352-400-0364.
So the first person to call Extreme Decalz with the correct answer is going to win the... somebody text it.
Louie.
Yeah. Louie doesn't count. We're I think like 15 seconds ahead. Oh.
Extreme Decalz, this is Brian.
What's the name for? Who is this?
Hey, what's your name? Rick Largell.
Rick Largell?
And he said 27 feet.
27 feet. Rick Largell. He won the Florida Marine Track card not too long ago.
Nice.
Put Rick on speaker real quick.
You won tonight. Just 1 second. Let me put you on speaker.
Rick.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you should go play the lotto after this, brother.
I have. I started playing right after I got to the Florida Marine Track thing.
Man, your phone's blowing up right now.
It's impressive.
Hey, all
Yes, we do have pinfish. I tell you what, I'll trade you 2 dozen pinfish for these cornhole boards.
Oh, that's a deal.
We're having a family reunion, and everybody was joking how awesome that would be to have a family reunion.
Oh man, do you hear that?
Heck yeah.
They're having a family reunion right now, and they were all just talking about how awesome it would be to have these boards at the reunion. So, well, Rick, congratulations. So whenever you're ready, just give Brian a call back. You have his number already. You can come up here to the shop, pick him up. But congratulations, my friend, and we'll see you tomorrow for some pennies.
You guys are so awesome, man. And you know what's really cool is my whole family. There's a lot of people that were tuned in tonight, and we told them this happens. You know, we're not in a big city. We're out here in the nature coast.
Yeah.
So, hey, now, is there going to be any kind of contest where I can win a free trip with Captain Zach?
Captain Zach, Rick wants to know if we're going to be doing any contests soon to win a free trip with you. And
Just talked about that. I want to do a mud boat trip.
a mud boat, yeah. So Zach, yeah, later, this next part of the season, Rick, we are going to do a giveaway for some mud boat trips. And that's one you're definitely going to want to hop on because that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet it is. Okay, man. So I just go down there and meet. I want to meet those guys anyway. We're thinking about raffling the truck. I was going to confront you about raffling the truck. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Absolutely.
guys, you see
Hold
that?
on just a second. I'm going to send
he
you off
just
to
won some
somebody else.
cornhole boards, and now he's getting his truck wrapped. That is what happens at Extreme Decalz, cornhole to truck wraps. Well, Brian, thanks again, man. That was a lot of fun, brother. We really appreciate everything, and more importantly, we appreciate our friendship with you guys.
Absolutely.
Guys, that was another episode of Friday Night Fish Talk. We will see you next Friday where we're going to be live at another location, and we'll see you then.